Alright guys, so if you first load into Starbase, first thing you're going to have is some tutorial stuff. You'll kind of spawn here at this command center, and the command center, you can look around with your mouse and move around. There's some tutorial stuff at the top right. My keybinds are a little different, so kind of ignore the ESDF. You guys will probably be using the WASD standard stuff, but when you move around and you start to do these things that they show you in the tutorial, you will be able to progress to the next stage of the tutorial in the top right. So left and right, forward and back, you've got space for jump, and then it says follow the arrow to the demolition site. So that's basically a WASD movement, pretty standard for first-person shooter games. One of the cool things you can do is hold Alt and then mouse wheel in to go into first-person mode, or Alt and mouse wheel out back to give yourself oh, hey, we got a new player here, perhaps. No, he's got tools. He just spawned here. He's all good. And yeah, you can hold Alt and look around. So you can kind of see the entire scope of this entire huge station and the marvelous scope and scale of the game. So it's telling us to go to this demolition job site. I think this is the way they do the tutorial is pretty cool. You can hold shift to sprint. So at the bottom right, you'll see my little stamina bar. You know, yeah, we're robots, but we got a little stamina. This is the work hub right there. And if you see any text on the screen, that's just other ships and stuff that have their transponders on, so you can kind of see where they're at. And when you get to this spot, there's an insurance transfer terminal. Click on one of the blocks here and then link yourself. So I'm going to unlink myself, so you'll see you'll come here and it's blank. Click on this, click on link this terminal, and you will now be able to transfer here, or if you die, you can respawn here at this location anytime you want. So this is the work hub in Origin 2. Now we're going to follow this arrow again to the demolition job site. First step in the tutorial says find the demolition job site at the top left. Enter the job site we're going in. I'm going to zoom back out. All right, and I'm going to move in over here. Wants us to move over here. When you pass through this little blue, purplish, I guess it's purple, this purple field, you enter into your own instance. So no other player, unless they're in your group, can enter into your instance here. So you're kind of like in your own tutorial training instance. And you can see that player that was there kind of went away. See some parts flying off this ship. This ship is now kind of broken, and pieces are falling off this ship, getting collected over there by some collection machine that does not yet exist, but that's fine. All right, we got a little highlight, yellow highlight to pick up. It says pick up the buzzsaw. So at the top right, pick up the buzzsaw with you, and you just come here and grab it. You now have the buzzsaw. It is charged normally, but if you run out of charges, there's extra ammo here. These are all temporary if you check your inventory by pressing I. This is just a temporary item for you to do these tutorials. You don't get to keep them. All right, you'll have to buy or craft your own later on. And there's a cutter tool and bolt tool here. That's for later as well. But the easy thing to do is buzzsaw, left click or right click. Either one will start breaking stuff. I think left click here will completely shatter a part, and then right click will kind of break it, like snap it off. And this is basically representing a broken ship. It's got some holes in it. You can press N to bring out that little spotlight for you if you want to see a little bit better, if it's a little bit too dark for you. It's got some broken pieces. You know, this ship has been through a firefight, and it's all torn up. We can jump with space and look around. And yeah, it's hurting. And what the tutorial is doing is it's kind of showing you these yellow outlines of where to cut to salvage the ship. This is demolition, salvage the ship. So I'm going to hold left click and chop up these beams and let the parts fall into the collection area over there. So boom, broke it. That's a left click. Left click, you can see it just fragments and shatters the pieces. If I right click, you'll see the part come off. The part loosens itself, and then right click again on that. And it's collecting those pieces. As you do this, you're going to start to I think it's when you do the whole thing on this. We'll see. You do get some credits for doing this. Chop up the pieces. And there you go. It's taking the whole ship into the collection area to be, smelted down to some stuff or whatever. Who knows? Now, the demolition job, it's going to give me a couple other ships to do. And this one, we don't have any kind of hints, no yellow outlines. We have to kind of use our brains here. This is the Vesama, and we're going to cut this one up. You can use pretty big pieces, but each ship is its own little unique thing. But these have like some arms here, so I'm going to start with the back. Cut this. Get a nice large piece going. Want to do large pieces. Save some time. That piece is going. And you can really segment these things in half. This is a demolition job. You can't keep any of this stuff, so you might as well just break it all. Just go crazy. It's just demolition. Starbase is a game about demolition. Sometimes, kind of. And yeah. You can also float a little bit if you press Q will, I guess it's Q default too, will normally kind of have like simulated gravity, magnetic boots. You can turn that off by pressing Q, and then you kind of float in the air, float in space actually. Oh my goodness, look at all those ships up there, guys. Wow. So if you want to get height, you can just jump on the ship and move around, break off pieces, or you can press Q and you can float around and work it that way. So I kind of like the floating around part. It makes it really easy. Chop, chop. Got that piece. I think this last piece should bring in the rest. Cut the frame off. Can hear a ship going by over there. Lots of ships floating around up there from new players, most likely. Okay. And we have a little bit more here. Let's do these connector beams. We should get it all there. Nice. And we can see our ammo on the weapon itself, 426. That's the charge left on it. It's going to spawn us now the next one, the Pincer Ship. It's going to be pretty easy to cut that off. That one, that whole segment just fell. Those pieces going in. A little bit more bulky here in the middle section. So finding a spot here, you again just have to think through where you're going to cut. Looks like there's no connecting beam here, so we can find a spot. Trying to cut off this wing, may not work. And again, you don't need to worry about it. You can't really mess this up. You just gotta get it done. It's just a demo job, just a tutorial for moving around. Get them floating. Disabled the grav boots. We're pressing Q, getting that little float mode. You can toggle it on and off as you need it. And it looks like it's this part connecting. Nice. And this part connecting. Alright, it's taking that in. Makes it a little easier to look. Got some generators here. We'll cut through this part. Send that on the way. And it looks like it's grabbing everything. Now, This should work just fine, collecting everything. I don't see any other loose parts. Nice. Now we have the Empire Spatha ship coming up next. And it did not even bother us with that. So, hey, rewards added to inventory. We got Bolt Tool Magazine, Buzzsaw, Power Pack, and some other stuff. So, yeah, we have been awarded these items, which is great. When you leave the area here, you'll lose the temporary items when you leave the field. So if you walk out, you'll lose the items, but you are now rewarded with some of the items yourself. So you bring out your weapon, do a little recharge on it, a little reload with R, and you are set. Cutting tool is another demolition thing that I didn't use, but you can try that out on your own. It's fun to use as well. Cut right through the ship. And if you got too much stuff in here, one of the things you can do is, I'm going to reload the bolt tool here as well. If you don't want to use like your power pack, you're not going to use it right away. You can move it into your station inventory. Either click and move it over, or double click will throw it in the station storage. So load it up with some items. You can stay here if you would like and spawn a ship. Like you get 100 credits for chopping up the ship again, and you can make some credits that way. It's minimal, but it's something you can do, and it's how you get, your first little bit of credits. But next, it says at the top left, going to the mining job site, and we're going to do that. Going to leave the demolition one, run over here to the mining one. Again, hold shift to sprint. Ships running, ships flying off there. This is a single game universe. If you guys are not familiar, a single game universe, there's not multiple servers. It's one game server. So you're going to see people doing all sorts of stuff, flying around the ships. I always see this guy. He's hacking away at an instanced asteroid. This is a mining job site. So I'm going to walk into the instance. He's going to disappear. I'll be able to do my own stuff here. So to get the pickaxe. Pickaxe right here. Alright, pick this up. Sweet. Got a pickaxe. And it says connect to the resource bridge. So you come over to the resource bridge and connect to that. My keybinds might be a little different from you guys, just so you know. It will show up on your screen. And yeah, this is pretty easy. This is a asteroid that you might see out in the asteroid belts. There's the material that's colored, and then the outer shell material. And you'll kind of learn what those are as you get to learn the game more. To mine, there's two ways to mine. There's left click, which uses the spiky end of your pickaxe. And then there's the right click, which uses the blunt end of the pickaxe. And they do different things. So when you use the left click, you fragment the rock into like a large piece, and then when you hit with the right mouse, it pulls it into a small bit, like a small fragment. So when you're doing these small ones, it's good to left click to break off the not so valuable large chunks of ore, and then to get the good stuff, you right click the ore and get at the good stuff. So that's a good collection on that small asteroid. Now, the mining job says 1 out of 10 asteroids collected, so we're just going to go through this. Pretty easy. If you need to see a little bit better, you can press N to open your light or turn on your light. Just going to right click to get some of the good stuff, and then left click to put this into large chunks so it'll be collected over there. That's 2. Alright. Break off some of the chunks. One of the cool parts of the left click is it doesn't waste the juicy ore in the middle. And so you can use it to expose the inner juicy bits of the asteroid. Right click all the good stuff. Left click the big fragments, send them on their way to the collection area over there. You might have to stand outside of this area if you're in this area, so make sure you back away a little bit so it'll spawn the new asteroid. Pretty good. That one was not much in it. That's just how it goes. There's another one. Not gonna bother you guys with the names of these ores. You'll figure them out soon enough. Going by pretty quick. 6. Here's another one. Left click to fragment. Make sure you guys are doing that. Otherwise, you're sitting here like right-clicking a long time to break it into small pieces. And don't call it juicy. Get the good stuff. Left click, fragment. Send them on their way. And yeah, you're kind of collecting these, putting them into the resource bridge, into the containers there. Last one. Not much on that. Nice. That was the asteroid job. Rewards added to inventory is the pickaxe. So now we have the pickaxe. You can click and drag this onto your hotbar. I kind of use mine as position 1. So now I've got my very own pickaxe. The temp one, again, will disappear when you leave this purple area. The temp one will get deleted off of your character once you leave the area. So it's not doing it right now. Gotta go a little further, I guess. So the next one is the repair job. Repair job site. It's gonna hold shift, run over to the repair job. I guess we could jump over that way. This is Starbase. This is a space game, so there's no risk of falling off the edge of the world. You're not gonna fall down there and die. You're just gonna float. Okay, I'm just gonna float. This is space. You have gravity, not gravity boots, magnetic boots holding you onto the ground here. If you fall off, don't worry about it. You can hold space to float up and then control to go down towards the ground. So just move back over ground and you're good. So we'll shortcut here. We'll jump over the rail and float on over to the repair site. Alright, so we're going to get the building tool next. Run over here. It's got a nice little highlight of the tool. Pick that up. It says connect to the resource bridge. You need resources to repair stuff. The ground, by the way. Yes, egg. So for this, you open up your universal tool, and it's going to open up the blueprint. You'll see the blueprint is like these, this blue overlay over the object that is broken. So the object is supposed to be that full object there, but without the tool, we can see that it's definitely torn up. This has been chewed up by some autocannons or something, and there's some bunch of damage up here. It's just been shot up with some something. Who knows? Alright, so that's what we're repairing. Big hole in this cargo container. And we're going to open up the tool. If this is too big for you, you can minimize this. Again, for me, it's tab. I think that's for everybody. Tab and then push it away with mouse wheel to make it a little smaller. And then from here, just left click and kind of paint in all the damaged stuff. So I'm going to left click. And it makes a little sound when you have fixed that part. So you'll see the list of damaged parts over here on the left, like this crate. Alright, it makes a little sound when it's completed. We've got these plates up here. These plates. This one here. Now in the actual game, since I'm connected to the resource bridge and there's resources in these containers, like if you were on your ship, this is how you would repair your own ship if you had damage like holes in it and whatnot. So just painting over everything. And we've got 7 more parts to go. Got to look around. We didn't get much on this side yet. Okay, we got some of these. A couple more of these crates. 3 more parts. We got a plate, a box thruster, and another plate. So, okay, this thruster is definitely beat up. And we've got this and this. Done. Alright. It has been repaired. And it says on the right, we've been rewarded with a laborer module. Laborer module is basically a ship. So when I leave this area, it should take away this temporary repair gun. I didn't see anything about receiving a repair gun. Let's check it out. Nope, yep, don't get to keep it. But we did get a bunch of tools in station inventory. We've got pipe tool, durability test tool, cable tool. Oh yeah, we do get the building tool as well, so it did reward us with that. Cable tool magazine, pipe tool magazine, and again that power pack which I put in there. So these are tools where I recommend you keep them on you. You don't lose these tools when you die. So you might as well keep them on you for the most part. And you can drag them over to your hotbar wherever you want. I kind of have them in different spots where I need this reversed. There we go. That's where I like to have these. There's the durability test tool, which is not really too useful until you get until you understand the game a bit more. But when you do have these tools, so you've got the cable tool, for example, you do need the ammo for it. So make sure you pull the ammo for the pipe tool and the cable tool over into your inventory, and you'll do a little reload for that. And make sure you reload your pipe tool as well. All right, and now you're all set to go to the next waypoint. It says landing and takeoff, laborer module over there. Yeah, we'll jump over. We can fly in space. Alright, so it says ship spawn. When you go through this tutorial, you get a laborer module, which is a ship. This is actual ship, your first ship. So you can click on this terminal in the game, select it, and it will show a spawn button here. Hit the spawn button, and that is your first ship in Starbase. Alright, so it says use the jetpack by holding space to get to your ship. We're going to jump and then hold space, and we're going to float up to the pilot chair of our ship. We'll take a look around first. Now you have 10 minutes at the top right before it kicks you out of this area because your ship is just chilling here, doing nothing. And what we're going to do is just take a inventory of the ship. We've got some devices here. This is a main flight computer, and we've got a flight control unit, pilot chair. We've got a bunch of levers, buttons. Fuel rod here with a fuel chamber, a heat sink, some propellant tanks, 3 generators. We've got some cargo. Back here we have backup fuel rods that we can use if we run out of power. And we've got a couple thrusters. We've got some maneuver thrusters on the side and top. And we also have here a resource bridge, which will be pretty important. So let's get moving. It says jump in here to the pilot chair. All right, we're kind of locked in. If you're trying to WASD move now, the ship is going to move. So you'll feel the ship move as you move your keys as if you were moving your character. And the first thing I want you to do is move out of the platform using your bottom thrusters on the bottom of the ship by holding up arrow. So this will lift me off of this platform. So I'm holding the up arrow key and I'm floating up. The ship is now levitating up away from the station. Alright, so I've cleared that area. Now it wants me to accelerate with shift, and then you reduce your speed with C. So it's a little interesting keybinds. You can change this anytime you want, but accelerate with shift will go forward. and then decelerate with C. And you can yaw by or Q and E, I guess. Pitching W and S. You get a feel for it, and then rolling the ship as well. And it looks like I was, unfortunately, I took too long. I did not move out. If you have this happen where your ship kind of disappears from you, which is, you know, possible at any time, one of the things you can do is kind of float back to a landing pad. You'll see these big L things here. Those are the landing pads that you can use to spawn a ship. So I think this, yeah, my closest one is back where I came from. So sometimes you just gotta float. You could float down to the ground first, but it's a good time to look around. See ships flying over there, bunch of other ships just hanging out, people that log out or whatever else. New players and old players like just having their ships out here. There's some billboards, I think, up there or something. It's kind of cool to check out all the different ships. So almost back to the launch pad. This does happen. If it ever happens and like surprises you, don't worry. Float back to a landing zone. That big L. Be okay. Later on, you'll learn how to transfer to those locations fast and go faster. Alright, and then you can respawn the ship. Anytime it despawns, it's stored in the station, basically. And you can retrieve it at any time. I'm going to jump on here. I'm going to hold up. Kind of rise up away from the area. I'll pitch up a little bit. And we're going to hold shift, and we're going to just take off a little bit. Clear the despawn area that's around the stations here. Okay. So, moving out. You can see the other stations off in the distance. I'm going to press C to slow down. And it says cruise on the dashboard. So this is the cruise button here. When your cruise mode is on, your ship will just constantly stay going forward. Like this lever is, you can actually grab this lever and move it. This lever will stay at whatever speed you put it at. If you take off cruise mode, this will always reset to 0. So it's more manual control with cruise mode off. You get a more responsive feel based on what you want to do, so you don't have to hold C to stop your ship from moving. And then the next thing is the generator is constantly just burning fuel while you're not doing much. So this button here will turn off your generator, allowing you to conserve fuel when you're not doing anything intensive. So if you're not flying around, or if you just park your ship, it's a good idea to turn off your generator, and it will put it into a very low power state. So it's still kind of there, but it's not going to drain, and you won't find yourself stranded too soon. If that does happen, where you run out of electricity, you can always use one of these backups. Put a new one in there. I'm not sure if we go through it in the tutorial. I don't think so, but should be good. It tells you at the top right you can edit and save custom keybinds for the ship by pressing V while seated. So it doesn't work while you are not seated, but if you get into the pilot chair and press V, you'll get this little display at the left side, bottom left of your screen. It's kind of, you have to look down and it pops up, and you can use tab to kind of go through all these. Press tab to get your cursor. You can see all the different controls that you have available to you. You have transponder, generator, and just it'll highlight the different items if you're looking around. FCU forward is shift, move forward. C is your stop, and so on. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave it on automatic here. Press V again. And got one of you guys in chat saying, tip, turn the button value of the generator to 25. Nothing will change, only save fuel. You can change all the fields on all the devices in Starbase. So if you open up your universal tool while you're aiming at an object, like this button that says generator, you can change the on state value to 25 because your ship here doesn't use too much power. I'm going to leave it at 100 because we might run out of fuel. And if we ever put more thrusters on the ship, we might want it to be at full power. So it will save you some juice in the short run. You have to remember that you did it in the long run. That's why I'm not going to change it here. And at the top right, it says asteroid belt. Ships cannot be damaged near safe zone. So we're in a safe zone here. When you get to the outer portion of the safe zone, you'll see the safe zone. It will have like a green graphic showing you that you're at the edge of the safe zone, but you've got a long ways to go to get there, so don't worry about it. You're not going to just randomly stumble out of the safe zone. You have to really go very far to do it. But right now, at the top left, it says find minerals, discover asteroids in the asteroid belt. So this entire cloud that wraps all the way around the planet here is the asteroid belt. And there are trillions of asteroids in there. So we're going to go after a couple. Generator, make sure that's on. Using shift to go forward here. We're just going to fly out. Cruise mode, you can press cruise mode. That way you don't have to hold shift the whole time. You can set your speed however you want, but usually full speed is just fine. See these other ships going by. People that are just parked out here. All these little labor modules, other new players that have been playing and either logged out for the day or whatever. They're just hanging out. All these ships, you can go and check them out if you want. We're not doing that here. But you can walk up and explore and poke around anybody else's ship. You can't damage their ships in the safe zone. Can't really do anything to them, so most you can do is look around, check out any new designs. There's a lot of ships over here, guys. This is crazy. You can see this person has their name on their ship. So one of the things you can do is turn your transponder on, this button. Turn your transponder on, and then your ship will be visible to other players in the area. They'll see your name on your ship. And most of these don't have their transponder on. They didn't get that far, it seems. Or they didn't have any reason to, but hey, you might as well turn it on. Your name is unique in this single game universe, so why not? Why not turn it on? Like my in-game name, you can see the transponder is this purple object here, and my in-game name is Vex's Fate right here, connected to it. So we're heading through a cloud right now. It's going to be hard to see any asteroids. 12 kilometers away from our destination, where it says to some asteroids in the asteroid belt. I'm not sure if we'll find one sooner, but I think we'll just keep going. Some of the game is learning to fly through these clouds, around the clouds, through the asteroid belts, and so you kind of have to just get used to it. Play around with your ship. Pitch up and down is good. Learn to roll the ship side to side, yaw left to right. You will sometimes use those arrow keys to move up, down, left, right, which you can do. But usually you're only moving with maneuver thrusters when you do that, so it's not super easy. Like your ship doesn't move too responsive unless you have a lot of like a custom ship in those directions. So mainly just pitching up and down, kind of like you'd think of flying a airplane. Pitching up and down, yawing left and right, rolling left and right. And this is a space, not so much a space simulator game. You are actively using your thrusters. If you turn off your thrusters, you will slowly come to a stop. And it's like flying in a liquid, like air, atmosphere, not so much a vacuum void of space. So you'll have to keep that in mind. The flight pattern, the flight model of this game is more for gameplay, not so much for simulating true space. But it does make a lot of sense, and it feels good once you get used to it. Once you do get a feel for it, you can see the gameplay implications, where you do have to expend fuel to go places. You can't just like launch yourself at a certain speed and drift forever. These are gameplay. There are gameplay reasons for that. So, oh wow, okay, we've got a bunch of asteroids there, right above us. About 4 kilometers to our destination. We could probably go after any of these, but I just want to see what happens if you follow this, because if you are a brand new player, you're probably just like, okay, I'll just go to the point. I'm not going to go explore these other things. I'm just going to go straight to the point that it says to go to, because that's where the tutorial says to go. So we shall head here. Now, we might not see anything here. We might have to go up there. At the very least, we're going to start at the waypoint. And you can see through the clouds, all sorts of stuff. All right, we're here. I'm going to turn off cruise. There is nothing immediately in our area, so we will have to go elsewhere. It says interact with the resource bridge to connect to the bridge. So when you use this bridge, you now have a yellow beam that connects you to the resource crates on your ship. And again, you can float around your ship now. You're out in the void of space. Don't worry about it too much. Your ship's not going to go anywhere unless you're piloting it. Nobody can steal it just yet. And right here, we've got 8 crates. 8 ore storage. What you can do when you are on your ship or anywhere, you can open up your inventory and you'll see towards the bottom that you now have these extra connected containers. All right. So that's what we're going to use to fill up on some ore. And it says collect minerals. All right, well, we did the mining job, which was fine. Now we have some little dots over here that represent the minerals. Let's go find something. I'm going to go up, pitch up, and go to the nearest dot that kind of catches my eye. This one is kind of calling for me over here. There are different colors of the outer shell material, and it doesn't matter which ones you get initially. We're going to collect a little bit of a few different materials, get ourselves going. Got another ship, some player over there. Okay, we're closing in on this one. We are in the safe zone, so you do not need to worry about your ship breaking or anything like that. If you are still on cruise mode, I recommend turning it off, because it's a little easier with the cruise mode off to pulse your thrusters and get closer as you need. But there's no worry, you can crash into these asteroids. I'll hit this one, no problem. All right, so it might phase out like that as it's loading into your local area. And don't worry if you hit the asteroid. You are in a safe zone. Ship's fine. Cannot take damage. Alright, now this is a very large asteroid. I do not need all of it. I could fill up on all this, but probably want to get different types of material. This is a very big one. Alright. And what you want to do for this, since we have the material that we want exposed, this brown stuff, this is called bastium. I'm going to use right click to just start cutting in. You get these little nuggets that spawn when you break into the asteroid, and that's what we're looking for. So we've discovered bastium here, and as it's coming into your character, it's going to load into your containers here first. Alright, so it says 2 out of 8 fill the ship's storage crates. Well, we're going to get that done with this single asteroid. There's going to be more here than we can even take back. This is a big one. We got lucky. At the top left it says 4 out of 8. 5 out of 8 crates are filled. Just holding right click. You can left click the shell material away, but this is so big you don't really need to. You can just right click everything. And a lot of times with these larger ships, you know, you get a couple pieces away. I'm picking up these pieces and moving them out of the way. But you rarely get a large enough, like, clearing with left click to do anything that matters. So most of the time you're just going to right click and clear everything. That says a new material discovered on the right. It says Valkite ore. The Valkite is not worth too much, and it's the shell material, so it's very easy to get. And I would recommend you just delete it, basically. So I'm filled up with material. I'm going to delete this Valkite ore by right-clicking on it in my inventory, delete item permanently. And that will allow me to just get this more expensive material, more useful material, and just maximize how much I'm getting out of this. And you can do this in third person or first person. Once you're full, you're going to see you're going to create these nuggets, but they're not coming in anymore. They're just kind of sitting there. They're not doing anything. And that means I am full. Okay, all these are basically full. I have 8 full stacks. And what I'm going to do just to actually maximize a little bit is you can click and drag this ore into your automatic. This is like your mining backpack. You can have 2 ores in your mining backpack. So bring back 10 total versus the initial 8. Give me a little bit of a head start on everything else. And looks like I'm full. Everything is good. This one is a little not all the way, so I'm just gonna drag that block out. It's something you guys can do is drag out ore blocks into the game world. Everything kind of exists in the game world, so left click and drag away from your inventory. Place the block in the game world. Alright, put my pickaxe away, back to my ship. 22 kilometers back to station. Gonna go back and put cruise mode. Got the waypoint showing us where to go. You'll also see these little yellow waypoints that are the stations. So there's Origin 1, we're at Origin 2, and they form a little ring around the entire belt. But currently we live at Origin 2. You can go to any of them you want. They all share the same inventory. So if you're at Origin 1 or 2 or 3, they all have the exact same inventory. They have the same auction house. They have everything the same. All the same stations and supplies and everything else. So it doesn't really matter which one you are at. A lot of people like going to Origin 1 because it's the first one, and so you have a lot of people there. Origin 2 is where all the new players are starting out right now. I often, myself personally, operate out of Origin 30 and then also Origin 25, which is down there somewhere. Can't really see it, but it's out there. And there's not really, again, no real benefit. There's tiny benefits depending on where you are. One of the probably the better benefits of going to a less known or less populated station is you're going to have easier access to resources because these asteroids do not respawn. It's pretty empty out here. Usually there are asteroids right where I'm at in anywhere else along the belt, but these have been mined out. Like, a lot of this area has been mined out by other players so far. And once they're gone, they're basically gone. The devs don't really repopulate the asteroids, at least not frequently. They have done this. They may do it again in the future. But for the most part, the game world is a persistent game world. So when I've mined that asteroid, I mean, it's mine. It doesn't just come back. So it's kind of hard to wrap your head around that if you're used to other games where the thing just respawns over and over again and, you know, has no value, no meaning to it. You just do the task and everybody does the same thing. In Starbase, everything is physical. Everything is real. All these little dots are little asteroids out there, and if you mine that asteroid, it's gone. Nobody else is going to get that asteroid. which is really cool, especially when you get to some of the other parts of the game, different belts. You know that you're pulling material out that nobody else has. Nobody else will get that material. It's only you. But around the starter stations here, they may, in the long run, eventually repopulate some of the asteroids in the starter area. But overall, the rest of the game world is untouched. So anything you do to the rest of the game world outside of the starter area is permanent. I do mean permanent, which is awesome. You will see ships that have been just shipwrecked out there for months, perhaps. And you will see stations that have been abandoned that you can go and claim. You can see moon bases that have been abandoned. You can claim as well. So there's so much cool stuff to this game if you spend the time to learn it, get used to it, immerse yourself in it. Flying through this cloud right now, you kind of see the outline of Eos, this gas giant that we are starting around. Coming out of the clouds here. Right there, that's a waypoint for, it's like a station waypoint for beacons. It's a beacon basically for navigation receivers to find coordinates and make little waypoints from. Different ships. Almost out of this cloud. When you get deeper into the belt, especially when you're out of the safe zone, you got to be really careful going through these clouds. Asteroid will sneak up on you quick. Just looking around. Nothing here to see too much. Don't see anything else. Get out of the cloud though. Coming out of the cloud right now. Perfect. Clear. The physical belt. I'm gonna slow down just a little bit. Wanted to show something, which is this game world is huge, guys, and it's hard to see. I'm not sure how much you're gonna be able to see this. There's a moon. There's a couple moons way out there. You can actually go to those moons. And any more visible from here? There's a moon over there. This is the like tier 2 area. This moon over here called Elysium, and there's other moons out there. And that moon right there is 22,000 kilometers away. You cannot usually fly there through normal means, but it does exist there, and you can fly there. You can fly from here to there to that moon, all in one shot. No loading screens, no nothing else. And you do need a specialized ship for that, but you can do it. Now, if you want to go there faster, there's a warp gate way down here. You can go to that warp gate, and this will launch you from the origin station here to your kind of like tier 2 zone, which is the moon over there. The moon has gravity. It's got its own belt of resources like this, unique resources, and it's got pirates and PvP and people shooting each other. So definitely check that out once you get more comfortable with the game and get some credits under your belt. It is awesome. And then these are all the stations that you can see, all the other stations that go around the belt. The warp gate's in the middle of them all. So we're at 2 on the very opposite side, way down there, like 15 and so on. But yeah, you can go to any of these moons. They'll have unique resources and so on. So it's gonna speed up here. Yeah, it looks like I'm upside down. I'm gonna reorient myself by rolling, kind of face rolling, yawing here. We're gonna get that looks better. Very nice. So this has a little waypoint. It looks like it's at a this next waypoint is at a little tower here. Let's see if it brings us to the ore tower. Not sure. We'll check it out. We are now in the station. It tells you when you join the station area. When you join the station area, you can access your inventory and either offload your ore or access new stuff from your inventory. I can start, grab more ammo if I need, whatnot. There's people talking now. Passing all the other ships. That looks like a big ship right there. Got a bunch of new ships. Alright, for return to the station. I've returned to the station with my materials. I'm going to turn off cruise mode. So I come to a stop. And at the top right it says store items in your station storage. So I'm going to open up my inventory. And you can just double click all these ore over to your station inventory, or you can right click and transfer all ore to station storage. Alright, so that's a faster way to do it. And at the top left it says get some Vocarium. Alright, 1091 kV of Vocarium. So we've got some Bastium. Next is Vocarium. And there are a bunch of different materials in the game. It does not tell us where to go. Okay. It says collect materials in the belt to upgrade your ship. So we're just going to go back. I'm going to put cruise mode back on. Going to do a bit more flying. I don't think we'll need to go as far this time. What I'm going to do is go off at a little bit of an angle. And this should get us around 10 to 12 kilometers. We should hit some resources. And we're looking for Vocarium. At the top left it says we need 1091 kV, which is kilovoxels of Vocarium. Flying back out. And space is huge. And this game is a single game universe. You have not seen any loading screens this whole time. Just been moving around the game naturally. You naturally just exist in the game. Now that I rolled around, that's above me. It was below me. The warp gate over there. Kind of cool. Like we're going to be around a cloud here, which is good. A lot of people can avoid the clouds, but if you get comfortable with them, definitely dip into a cloud. You can cut your engines, cut your thrusters. Nobody can see you. I can only tell that I'm moving because it's little space dust. I think I've sufficiently gone at an angle. See all these little dots? This is the ore we're going to go after. Got somebody's ship just kind of, their transponders there, so head in this direction. How far away are we? Still only about 8,000. You got to go around 10 to 12,000 before you start seeing minerals. Warp gate's shining through here. Almost there. You can see we're almost to the spot where we'll get some materials spawning. All these little dots are asteroids. Some of them are already mined, so that as you get closer, they'll kind of not actually be there. Most of them are there, though. I kind of see one right up in front of me here. I don't know if it's Vocarium, but yeah, we're about 11 kilometers, so almost 12. That's where we'll start seeing the different materials. Now, Vocarium is more likely to spawn in, or exist, I should say, not spawn, but it's more likely to exist in these ice nodes. So we're going to go up to this ice and see if we can find some. I'm going to turn off cruise mode so I can manually work my thrusters in towards this asteroid. Again, safe mode, no worry if you hit something, all good. Ice is also a decent material. It's used for propellant. This ice is the white shell here. It's just water. So I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna left click, crack it open. It's like it's like an egg. And that is Vocarium, this little sea green, seafoam blue material. That's what we're looking for. So right click, get the material we're looking for. Got enough now for the upgrade that the tutorial is telling us to go for. But I'm going to keep collecting more. And it's a big piece of ice there. Might grab some ice as well. Yeah. It's not a lot of Vocarium compared to that large asteroid we got before. So let's get some ice. Let me just fill up on some ice. Ice sells reasonably well. It's a good starter material to sell directly to station. You can also sell to other players to the auction house. Usually sells for better than what the station will offer you. And what it's used for is your propellant tanks. So it's used for refilling your propellant tanks or making new propellant tanks that are full. So it's a good material to have. And let's check where my inventory is at. I'm almost full. Awesome. Grab a little more. Keep on swinging. Like mining any other game. And again, it's not collecting these little nuggets anymore, which you can pick up. They are actually like physical objects in the game. You can even bump into them. And that one like got stuck to my head. Can throw them at your friend. It's a little hard to do, but you can. And little trick again, move some of the material to your inventory slots here, and you can collect a little bit more on your first runs out. It's a good idea. Just keep a little bit more on you. Now, one thing to note, I'm collecting this material, and okay, I'm full now. The stuff you have in your backpack here and in your mining backpack, you do not lose if you die. In other words, all your tools and all the stuff stays with you. Your ship stuff is actually in your ship. So as long as your ship is fine, which it is in the safe zone, but if you ever go outside the safe zone, if you lose your ship, you do lose all the storage as well. So keep that in mind. You want to balance your risk and reward when doing mining. So I'm turning around, getting that waypoint. So let's go back here to Origin 2. I'm going to turn cruise mode back on. Start moving back. So that was a lot closer. The other location I had to go to was 22 kilometers. This is only 12 kilometers out. Awesome. Much easier. Go at a slight angle away from the station and you'll be at the materials a little bit faster because most new players are going straight out and you guys don't have to do that. While you're flying, a couple things I can tell you about this is you can jump around your ship, no worries. Thrusters do not harm you in the safe zone, although they do out in the wild if you are outside the safe zone. You can look around the ship, kind of see what it looks like, how it's handling. You can check out, by opening your universal tool, you can see a bunch of numbers and there's all sorts of networking stuff going on behind the scenes to make this ship fly. If you ever fall off your ship, this is something else, is you might freak out if you're like, oh no, I'm off my ship and I'm lost. On the bottom left, you're kind of connected with this thing called the lifeline, which if you get too far away from your ship, it will stun you for 10 seconds, but bring you back to your pilot chair. So you do not need to worry about falling off your ship either. There are some safeguards built in for that. So, and it's kind of fun to do. It's good to get screenshots, you know, if you want like a screenshot of your ship from the distance, they will take that. All right. And we'll whip back in, back to the ship. Now, if you don't have Lifeline enabled for some reason, the ship will stop after it gets about 5 kilometers away from you, sometimes a little closer. So it's not, you know, you don't fully lose everything, but you lose a little time trying to catch back up to it. It will stop eventually because your client kind of renders the ship. Your client kind of does all the math for propelling the ship through space, and if you're not there, it stops doing its job. That's the basics of mining. There are many ships, many mining ships, many asteroid hauler ships, tractor beam ships, cargo beam ships, cargo lock frame ships, all sorts of things for mining. All these ships can be custom designed and changed. I recommend checking out the different community resources that have ship blueprints available. You can buy ships in the game through all these shops, all these like yellow buildings here. I think this blue one is a shop. All these other buildings here are ship shops that you can go and check out. There are better miners available for you. There are laser miners available for you where you can use a laser to cut into these asteroids really quick. We're almost back, turning with all the material we need for the upgrades. I'm going to turn off cruise mode. That'll slow us down. And check inventory. Double click to move some stuff to station. And then again, right click, transfer all. Alright, objective complete. Fly to easy build hangar. Please help us. Should be fine, should be fine. Go into the easy build hangar to upgrade this ship. Good idea to have cruise mode off so you can use shift to kind of control your movement. I'm rolling to the side. Don't worry about crashing into anything though. Let's get closer. It says enter the easy build zone, which is this green zone. So I'm going to pitch up here. Shift. Oh, it's pitching. Kind of just trying to get under the overhang here. You'll get used to it. You don't do as good as this. You hit something, all good. And so come forward a little bit. What I'm going to do is press down on the down arrow key. Kind of lower myself a little bit. Use the right arrow key to push my ship to the right. Get a little closer to this crafting bench here. This is a free to use crafting bench at the Easy Build Hall. A little bit too far. Ship does do a little sliding, but that should be good. Jump out of the pilot chair. Locate crafting bench. Alright, I'm at the crafting bench. Now what? Got a welding tool reward. Nice. It says crafting 0 out of 2. 0 out of 2 ore crates. Alright, so the ship is now kind of put in a build mode position right there. So even though I parked it kind of lower, it's going to move to this upper position in a standard easy build mode position. And easy build mode is on. So each one of these are modules that you can use to kind of expand your ship. And it says to craft your ore crates. Now, my key for crafting is H. It's probably different for you guys. Sorry, I'm not, it's okay. You'll get the crafting thing. One of the things you can do is open your inventory and then click on the crafting tab to bring it up. And so under ship modules, we're going to look for this, the block of 4 ore crates, and I'm just going to click on it twice. 1, 2, and that's going to start crafting those on the right hand side. You can close out of this. You don't have to stay looking at this, but if you want to go back and see how much time, you can just press that key again, go back, wait for these to complete. Just waiting for those. All right, there's 1 completed. Top left it says 1. This is a big piece. It's basically as big as these right here. That's what we're putting on, is a couple extras. Upgrade our ship so we can carry more of that material back. All right. Crafted those. Objective complete. Enable build mode. I'm already in build mode, but if you need to enable build mode, it's period. And then it says place selected parts at the top right. Place selected parts from your quick bar onto the ship with R or left click, and detach parts with right click. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my piece here. The best way that I recommend dealing with this is you drag it to your hotbar. So 2, I have it on 2. I'm going to press 2, and now I have the ability to place this object onto my ship. And right now it's not fitting in the direction I would like, so I'm going to use the mouse wheel to rotate. That's looking better. I'll place one there. And let's go to the other side. Use control to go down and under. We'll go just kind of hear a little snap, little click thing. And if you place one that's off a little bit, like to the side here, I don't have any more. That's why I'm getting red. I only had 2, so I can't place another one because I have no more. I'm going to right click to cancel. And this one I placed, but it's off, and I don't like that. I want it to be, flush. So what I'm going to do is right click, just tap right click. That's going to remove it back to my inventory. And you can see at the bottom the 2 there. I'm going to press 2 again on my hotbar, place that one back. So done. There's also ways to edit your quick bar. There's some stuff to read over here if you would like. It's not necessary. And at this point, I've upgraded my ship. I'm going to press period to end the easy build mode. And my ship is going to kind of reset itself. Now it's like flyable. It's not in the easy build mode. And that's it. Pretty sure that's it. You can now upgrade your ship as much as you want. There are all sorts of modules for this. When you go into the crafting tree, you will see that you have ship modules here for all sorts of things. If you don't have, the main ones you're going to have are cargo, and it looks like that's the initial ones that you're going to have. As you craft stuff, you're going to get points to then unlock more things. So press K to open up a basic skill tree. And if you go to the basic tab, you'll see you have the ability to research, in a way, different things. So we have 350 red points, and I can unlock these different modules. Okay, I'll unlock those. And looks like I don't have enough to go to the next tier, but we can move down this as we craft more and more stuff. And yeah, so you can definitely get it going. Warp home first. And yeah, not enough points to research. So one of the things that I recommend doing initially, just to start out, you might have to move down a little bit closer to the crafting bench, but craft a couple more of these blocks of 4 ore crates. Don't go too crazy, because your thrusters are really weak right now. You only have 2 thrusters in the back. So don't go too crazy, but I think tripling up your storage by crafting a couple more of these and placing them on your labor is a good way to get going. You can continue to go out into the belt, get resources, bring them back. So I've crafted that. If you're having trouble placing the object the right way, you just need to rotate it. Mouse wheel does rotate left and right, but if you hold shift and mouse wheel, it will rotate the object vertically. So shift and mouse wheel, put that on there, move to the other side, put that on there, right click to cancel, and then I'm going to hit period to exit easy build mode. It will reset the ship a little bit, make sure it's flyable, do a little reset. That's it. I can now fly the ship out. I'm going to bring it above station. Got the players over there. This guy has a ship there. The ships load in from other clients. So, okay, we got research options showing here. Cool. Pursue. Great research. There's some more tutorial stuff on unlocking stuff, researching different things, and so on, but that's the basic portion of it, of the tutorial. I'm gonna go check out this guy's ship because he's like parking out here. Looking cool. Look at this. Oh man, he's taking me away. I don't know. I don't want to go. He's got guns, he's got all sorts of stuff. He's going over the ship design workshop where you can build your own custom ship. So that's it for the tutorial, guys. There's a little bit more for doing some other stuff like the tech tree, the crafting tree, just like clicking on these to like research the ore crate. I'm going to left click on there, and the research does cost research points and so on. There you go, basic tutorial completed. As you go out into the belt, you get more resources. You then bring those resources back, put them in your station. You can put upgrades onto your laborer. Oh, he's going. Nice. You can then get a ship like that, guys. You can get a ship like that in no time. Just keep on upgrading your ship. I recommend putting on more thrusters. Get those thrusters going so you move faster and faster. Put on more ore crates so you can store more and more ore. Keep bringing stuff back. You can then sell this material by pressing comma, which opens up the auction house. You can go to sell. You can check the prices actually go to ores at the bottom. Ice, for example. Ice is kind of back to its normal price of around 900. It's actually still worth it to sell it at 900 or 899. This other stuff like Bastium, go check out Bastium. Is at 33.99. Go to sell. We'll put a stack over there. 33.99. Create auction. And, it's listed here somewhere. Someone will come around and buy it at some point. Sometimes it doesn't sell right away. Sometimes it does. No big deal. If you want to, you can always undercut. So if I want those credits now, 33.98. Awesome. And then when you check it out, that's mine listed right there. Easy. Somebody's looking to buy, they're going to take mine first, right? Because I'm down by a credit. So good. You can also buy all sorts of stuff from here, like ship parts and so on, but don't worry about that. The main thing is to get some credits under your belt, get some ore in your station inventory, and yeah, you'll be set. So I'm gonna fly out above. Got all these ships over here just kind of chilling. Different laborers, different players that have upgraded their laborer modules. You can see these are different. These are the different starter ships that other people have made into their own creation through the easy build all over there. This guy went wide with his ships. He kind of widened out the wings. Got this one, which is like a much more compact. It's got a lot of platform to walk around on. This is kind of cool. So, this is one you invite all your friends on so they can kind of hang out. Yeah, it kind of made it big, flat platform. He might have a little fear of falling. This guy, something like that. And then we got the guy down here, made this really compact. Okay, this is good. This guy's made a really compact ship, lots of storage crates in here. This is all the labor module that you guys have. And this is packed with crates, and looks like he bought a tripod and a tripod autocannon. So he is loaded. He's ready to shoot anybody that comes after him. He's set. This is a PvP cargo hauler. So got batteries, extra batteries slapped on back here. Got some more thrusters. You guys can build all sorts of crazy stuff, whatever you can imagine. You can pretty much build in Starbase. Look at all those ships, guys. Amazing. Amazing. So, I hope you liked this tutorial. The devs did a decent job giving you a run through to get started in the game. This game is insanely complex. yet also very basic in many ways. You know, it's a first-person shooter. You just buy a ship, fly a ship. That's a ship right there, that yellow one. Mine some ore, come back, sell some stuff, make some credits, buy different ships, upgrade, buy a fighter ship, go fight in combat. It's up to you to decide what you want to do in this game. So, hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do, leave a like, subscribe, whatever you're going to do. I stream on Twitch. Give me a follow there. And we'll see you guys later.